drilled a 2x4 across the rafters here, and it's directly over my workbench. And these are cool lights. I just gotta plug it in to that power strip right there. Installed numerous lights, a couple of different lights that I'll walk you through. So we'll start off with the main lights that are on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, maybe this will be a better view. And then we have this section here. I'll give you a quick walkthrough of the lab so far. This is still the target area. I'm going to build a wall as an arrow stop and build a stand to put my targets on. But this is my tool area. This guy here. And I have my tool bags, some tool rolls, and then this is going to be the library where I'll put all my books, and my speaker, and which brings us to our first light, which illuminates that spot. Have the TV on, and then this area here will house all of my screws, bolts, nuts, all of that stuff. And I installed a light above that. So my TV illuminated quite nicely. This is the garden area, the lounge area, the bow making area. I have an island there. There's a light right above the draft table, the drafting table, and that gets turned on like that. So that illuminates the drafting table. Which is nice because I get light from this window here and then from there. And then that brings us over to this section, which is just the saws and drills, and there's a light there. I have a little stick that I use to grab, because I'll put them on a power strip. And it turns that light on, which shines down and lights this space. And right there's a light that illuminates this whole area in the evening. And then you come over to the bow section. This is the table that we built, You guys remember that? I put a tool station. Every workbench has a station of some essentials, you know, pencils, a flashlight, and a tape measure, pencil, tape measure, pencil, flashlight. This one kind of shares. My toolbox, the same thing. Tape measure, blade, pencil, flashlight, tape measure, blade. And that's the same over here. And so there's a light above this that you just turn on, and it shines down and illuminates that whole thing. We're gonna paint now that I have everything where I like it. We're gonna take everything down and actually paint this wall that illuminates that space. And then there's this light here, which is pretty cool. I actually put it on a system where you can let it down and the whole piece will lower down. I'll show you guys that here in a minute, but you can just reach up and turn this light on and it shines down on that. And then we go to the island. Here, let's get a good look at that. That. The side of the workbench here I made into a shelf, which is super useful. But that's how this area is illuminated. Pretty cool. Like I said, this light lowers down so I can get closer by using that. I'll show you guys here in a second. But then we come to the center island here. I also have this light here. This is the cool light that I built. This one, I wanted it to be kind of old school, kind of like rope and pulley. I wanted to create something where I didn't have to plug it in. I wanted to just be able to raise it manually. One of the cool things that I had to think about was how can I get a rope around this motor right here and pull up in sync with this side of the light, raise and lower in unison. I can reach the light right there, so I can just turn it off manually. And if I want to drop it down, I have it hooked over here, and you can just manually bring it down to whatever height you like. If you want to go lower, go right there, turn it back on, and you have all the light that you need. Off, and then to raise it, you just pull this up, hook it back over here, and then if it's a little uneven, you can straighten it out, and there you go. So I just picked up this cool old card catalog that I'm going to put into the lab. I'm going to clean up and restore it.
That's from the oldest blacksmith shop, and he has all of the tools too out of the...
This here is from the oldest blacksmith shop in town?
Yes.
Cool. Look at that. What do you think lived in there?
A rat.
He has a 2-bedroom. From the oldest blacksmith shop in town. I feel very honored to have this in the lab and restore it and take care of it. Here it is. I'm gonna start cleaning it out. That was heavier than than I anticipated. It is beautiful. Today we're gonna continue building prototypes. This is a quiver that I'm working on. This is what it is. It's a 2-inch PVC pipe. This was the first one. I put this cork pad on the back because it goes along the hip, so it should be cushion it. And the paracord here in order to prevent the arrows from rattling. This was my first design. And then this is the second design. There's actually 9 holes. This was the pattern that I was going for. And I have these I cut through here in order to weave in a strap for your thigh. I didn't add them on here yet, but this is just another design that I have. I've cut out the sides as well as the line in the center here and up here, and this is where you would put your loop, so it would come onto your belt. And I'm removing material in order to lighten the whole unit here. But this is the second one that or the third one, I mean. You can see how I trimmed off an inch there, extended this, but on this one, I pinched it, I should say, but on this one here, I actually bent and formed it in one unit, and then this is the final version. So now the arrows, they're not obstructed and bending down like on this one. So when you put 2 arrows together, they can actually stay side by side. So that's what we're going to work on. I like the hard case, and that's where we are. This is the finished product so far. I got the bungee strap to prevent shaking of the arrows when you're walking. There's a strap that goes around your thigh. This is the belt and my bag. There's our target. My baby kitty. He loves shooting with me. That was decent. I moved the target. I brought it up here. So now we're going to walk down and just stop wherever we want to and shoot uphill. This guy just flew up.